Hello guys, and welcome to another session at TalentSprint. I am Surabhi. Well, let's start the session for this day. I can already see Nagarjan, some of you there. So let's start the session, boys and girls, like we always do, by saying a hi, hello to each other and greeting each other. Though I can see some of you are already there. Alright, so telling you about today's session. We all know, the much awaited IBPS notification finally came out on 14th of August. There had been a lot of anticipation since July. When is the notification going to be out, and when is the notification going to be out? So finally IBPS answered to all our prayers, and 14th is when the notification came out. Now, once the notification was out, we all know that the day to start applying online, filling in your application forms was 16th August, that is yesterday. So it is yesterday that you can start, from yesterday you could have started applying for IBPS PO 2017. Application forms are open, like all of us know, till 5th September. So roughly they have given you about 20 days to be able to apply for the exam. And then you can download, as in you can download and you can print out. It is very important, boys and girls, that when you fill the IBPS PO form, that you take a printout. So 20th September is the last day to take a printout, and we all know that the exam is in October. 7th and 8th October and 14th and 15th October is when the exam is. Alright. So now that we all know that the notification is out, a lot of us have questions as to what should we do, how should we fill the form, what are the small things that we should keep in mind, what are the details of the photograph, the signature, what should I write where? Well, this session is there to answer all these questions for you guys. So let's start the session by opening the notification, by going through the form and then going ahead and filling it step by step. Alright, so we all know, guys, that the notification is out on the website of IBPS, on the website of IBPS. So let's go ahead and let's, so we know the website is www.ibps.in. Alright. So there comes the website of IBPS, www.ibps.in. Now if you notice at the top, the first scroll, the news that is coming via the scroll at the top, the first link, the first news is what is of use to us, that says, click here to apply for common recruitment process of probationary officers / management trainees phase 7 CWEPOMT 7. So this is the notification. This is where you have to click to apply online for the IBPS PO 2017. So I click on it. Now, if you notice, once I click on it, I have all the important dates that they have listed out for us. So let's go through these important dates and then let's go ahead to, fill our form. So if you notice, we all know that the notification came out on the 14th. That was Monday. Commencement of online registration of applications, that is, from when can you start applying online for the exam? So 16th August, that is 16th August, yesterday, is when the online application started from, and you can apply online till the 5th of September. So if you notice, like I said, they have given you 20 days to apply for the exam. The last day to edit your application forms, since 5th is the last day to submit whatever changes you want to make in your application form. 5th September is the day when you can, last day to make all these changes. And like I said, the last day to print out your application. Once you fill up your form, you apply, you should also take a printout of the form. So the last day to do that is the 20th of September. And online fee payment, the dates are same as the dates for online application. So now, if you notice on your right hand side on the screen, you will notice click here for new registration, and if you have already applied, then enter your registration number and your password. So since I haven't already applied, I'm going to click here for new registration, and I am going to fill my form step by step. So here, click here for new registration. Now the minute I click here for new registration, you know, they quickly, you know, put up all the important points to be noted here. So, you know, let's go through these important points before we actually, you know, fill up our form. So let's go through what these important points are. Please note that all particulars mentioned in the application form, including your details like name, category, date of birth, address, mobile number, email ID, center for examination, registration, will be considered as final. Now, please note this line. Once the final submission of the form has been done, no changes can be done. Please note this line, as no change modification will be allowed after the submission of the online application form, which means that once you have applied it, you cannot change any details, which also means that while applying for the exam, while filling out our forms, we have to be extremely careful, be very you know, careful about the particulars we fill in. So check, recheck, verify, cross verify. Candidates have, you know, they say with utmost care, and they will not entertain, you know, saying that, you know, I'm sorry, I wrote my wrong email ID, I'm sorry, I put in my wrong phone number. None of those requests would be entertained by the IBPS. Well, eligibility criteria this time is to be a graduate. You can be a graduate from any recognized university across the country. You should not be in the final year, and they clearly tell you by 5th of September your graduation should be over. You should not be in the final year. We have been getting a lot of questions from people who are in the final year. You know, I'm in the final year, can I apply? So, well, if your final year is getting over before the 5th of September, you are eligible to apply. However, if as on the 5th of September you are still in the final year of graduation, you are not eligible to apply for the exam. Okay, let's see what else. Alright, so then the only way we can pay is online. Online is the only mode of payment, and you know, the registration is considered to be complete only after you have made the payment. Well, admission to the exam, well, okay, so now let us start filling out the examination form. Let us fill out the registration form. So, okay, I write my name is Surabhi. I check the spelling, S-U-R-A-B-H-I. Great. I do not have a middle name, so I don't need to put it. I do have a last name. My last name is Sehgal, S-E-H-G-A-L. Now, guys, please notice that there are asterisks at some of the on some of the details here. So all the details that have an asterisk on it, it is extremely important for you to fulfill those details. These these sections are mandatory. They have to be filled. The others you may not fill, but these are definitely mandatory. Then they are asking me my mobile number. So there goes my mobile number. Okay, they are asking me for it once again. I give it to them. Then they are asking me for an alternative mobile number. So there goes an alternate mobile number. Then they are asking me for an email ID. So let me give my email ID. There goes my email ID, and then they once again ask me to confirm my email ID. Now I have confirmed my email ID, and then there's a security code 33MH5. Please notice, boys and girls, that the security code that we have here is case sensitive, meaning that letters that are in caps lock need to go in caps lock, and letters that are in those are small letters need to be small. So remember, the security code is case sensitive. Now guys, before you save and move to the next, it is advisable that you check your details once again, because like I said, once the form is finally submitted, no changes can be made. So yeah, well, my first name S-U-R-A-B-H-I, S-E-H-G-A-L, my mobile number 98765432210, and then the alternate mobile number 78906543221. All right, so now I save this and I move ahead. Okay, now once again IBPS reminds me here, that no change will be allowed after I finally submit, so it's good that I check, recheck, cross check. Okay, done that, and I move ahead. Now boys and girls, here comes the trickiest part where we have to upload our photograph and our signature. Well, there are a couple of details that you should keep in mind about the photograph that you'd be you're uploading. So of course it has to be a recent passport size photograph. It has to be colored. Remember that it is taken against a light colored or preferably a white background. The background of the background where the photograph is taken should not be dark in color. It has to be a light colored background. Then you have to look straight into the camera. If you wear specs, great, but do not wear sunglasses, things like that. Headgears are not allowed, no caps unless and until of course it's a religious headgear. That is of course headgear is totally allowed. The dimension of the picture should be between 200 to 230 pixel, and it should the size of the file should be between 20 to 50 KB, 20 to 50 KB. And they tell you ensure that you do not have a red eye. If you're clicking a picture in the sun, ensure that the sun is behind you so that you don't come dark in the picture, and use flash in the camera if the need arises. So well, I have already clicked one such picture and I have saved it in the on the desktop. There it goes. There goes my passport size photograph. Now I have to put on my signature. So let's look at the details for the signature. So let's see what are the details. So if now signature, please remember you have to sign on a white paper with a black pen. Please do not sign with a black pen on a ruled sheet or any of those things. Remember, black pen and a plain sheet. You can't use a blue pen, you can't use a ruled or a printed sheet to sign on. And this signature is what will be used in the exam hall when you're giving the exam. So be extremely careful of the signature that you are uploading. The dimension of the signature should be around 140 into 60 pixel, and the size should be between 10 to 20 KB, and anything written in caps lock will not count as signatures. So well, let's choose a file. There goes there, uploaded, and I go next. Now if you notice, let me just scroll down this page. This is a page where there are a lot of details. So let's carefully carefully fill this page, ensuring it at every step that we know what we are doing, and so that we are very sure that what we are putting in as our details. Category, well, I belong to the general category. Now please note what IBPS tells you here. They tell you that ensure that you fill your category, because category change will not be permitted under any circumstances. So you have to be very, very careful. Don't say, oh my god, I belong to another category and by mistake I marked that category. Such excuses will not be entertained. So I belong to the general category. Well, I am not a person with a disability. However, if you are a person with a disability, you have to go on to answer quite a few questions like, what is the type of disability? What is the percentage? Then, do you need some extra time at the time of the exam? Are you suffering from cerebral palsy? Do you need some extra time? What if your hands are affected? Which is your dominant hand that is affected? Again, if you want extra time, do you need services of a scribe? Now, a scribe is a person who writes your exam. If you are a person with a special ability, IBPS will provide you with a scribe, someone who will write your exam as and when you tell them what to write. Then they ask you, are you someone whose family member died in the 1984 riots? Well, no, nobody thankfully from my family passed away then. Are you a person domiciled in Jammu and Kashmir during the period from 1980 to 1918 to 31st December? Well, no, I do not. I do not have roots in Kashmir. Are you a ex-serviceman? So anyone who has served in any of the armed forces and the paramilitary forces can mark here. Well, no, I have never served there. In case you have, you have done this already, in case you have already served in the army, then put in the number of months and when did you serve. Have you joined a government job on the civil side availing for the benefits as an ex-serviceman? Well, no government job. Which religion do you belong to? Well, I'm a Hindu. Do you belong to the minority community? No. Whether serving in government, quasi-government, public sector undertakings, including nationalized banks and financial institutions. Well, I do not work in a government, in a government or a quasi or a public sector organization. So, well, no. Have you appeared in the PO exam before? Well, in case you have, please click yes and then put in the number of attempts. So, let's say I have written it once before. Now, please notice the IBPS PO which is being held this time is CWE PO 7, which means that if you appeared last year, you appeared for CWE PO 6. If you appeared for the one before that, it was PO 5 and so on. So, well, do you have an Aadhaar card? Yes, I do have an Aadhaar card. They are asking me my Aadhaar card number here. So there goes my Aadhaar card number. Nationality, I am an Indian. Which state, union territory or in the NCR region do you want to write the exam? Well, I am currently staying in Hyderabad, which is in Telangana. So I would write the exam in Telangana. The center code has, automatically been updated. Then they're asking me the center for preliminary exam. There's a drop down here. So guys, notice based on the state that you select, a drop down will appear. And since I am in Hyderabad, there are 4 options for Telangana: Hyderabad, Karimnagar, Khammam, Warangal. I select Hyderabad. Okay, personal details. What's my date of birth? My date of birth is 19th February and the year I was born is in 1993. So if you notice, it has automatically calculated my age. Well, I'm a female, marital status unmarried. Now I go on to put details, the names of my parents. So there goes the name of my father. There goes the name of my mother. And if you are married, you also have to furnish the name of your spouse. Now, address of correspondence. So my address of correspondence will be my address at TalentSprint, PSR Towers, Gachibowli, BOW, okay, BOW, LI, BOW, just give me a minute. All right. So somebody is asking me in the meanwhile, when is the main exam? Main exam center, well, main exam center is Hyderabad for me. All right, thanks for reminding me there, Venkat. So like this is what I said, we have to be extremely careful while we fill out the details. District, well, this is Hyderabad. So I put it Hyderabad. State, we all know Hyderabad is in Telangana, so there I select Telangana. And then the pin code of the area. Well, now, please notice here, if your correspondence address is same as your permanent address, click on this. And if you notice, the minute you click on the fact that your correspondence address and your permanent address is same, it will automatically put those details here. However, if it is not the same as in my case, then please go ahead and put in the details here. So my, details here are house number 45, F block, Rajouri Garden. What is the district? The district is Delhi. What is the state? The state is once again Delhi. I select. What's the pin code? 110072. And then GST invoicing I want at my communication address and not on my permanent address. Now, Once I have filled out all these details, I come to know that since I belong to the general category, I have to pay 600 rupees to be able to apply for the exam. Now let me validate my details. They have been verified. Validating means that I have filled every column perfectly. Now I can save and move to the next. Now please notice here is where we have to furnish details about our education qualification and if we have any work experience. So well, I am BCom, I studied commerce, and when did I pass out? I passed out in the year 2015, so I passed on 15th July 2015 is when I passed. I scored 70% marks. It was first class. Well, that is the only, that's the only education qualification that I have, for my graduation degree. For those of you who have gone on to do your post-graduation or other, education qualifications, please mention those details here. Remember to mention those details here. Then, do you have operating and working knowledge in computer system? Well, if you put no, then you don't have to mark any of these things. Well, I do have computer knowledge, so yes. And then I studied it in school, high school, college, institute, and I studied computer as a subject. Those of you who studied IT as a subject, during your degree or whatever, you can go ahead and put IT as a subject. Now, if you have work experience, please put your work experience here. You can go ahead and mention the details. If you don't, you do not have to put anything here. Now, notice if you are putting in the work details, you have to put the name of the employer, that where are you currently working, what is your designation, when did you start working, till when did you work, what are the natures of your duty? Natures of your duty meaning which department, whether you are into delivery, you are into operations, you are in sales, you are marketing, you are into HR, whatever you do, what is the nature of the work that you do? Why did you leave? You could be preparing for an exam, you could have, you were looking for better job opportunities, whatever is the reason. And then after that, what are the years of experience, for how long did you actually work there? Then, other details that you have to furnish here are whether desirous of taking pre-bank training. This is applicable only for the people who belong to the reserved, the SC, ST and the minority community. So, well, not applicable. If you are interested, then there's a drop down. You can choose which is the center where you would be interested. Then comes a question whether any prosecution, detention, fine, conviction, sentence, again, has you been awarded in any court of law for offense. Thankfully, I have been on the correct side of law and I have never got into trouble with the law. So, well, no. And in case you have, then you have to mention what happened, what problem did you get in. Languages known. Please notice that there is the mandatory sign for one language, which means that you have to mention your fluency, efficiency in at least one language. So languages I know are English. I can read, write and speak in English. The second, thing that I know is Hindi. Hindi is the second language that I know. So I can read, write and speak in Hindi. And the third language that I know is Punjabi. I can just speak Punjabi. I cannot read Punjabi. So read and write Punjabi. So well, here it is. Okay, one more thing, if you notice for your education qualification here, when you're putting in your details, they have clearly said the fraction of percentage will be ignored, that is 59.99 will be treated as less than 60 and 54.99 will be treated as less than 55. So be extremely careful when you are putting in your marks. Put in the exact details of the marks here. So well, let's go ahead. Somebody's okay, so let me validate. It says verified successfully. I can save and I can move to the next. Now, if you ask me, for all those of you who are applying for the IBPS, this is the most important page. Well, I can see Abhishek is asking a question that, Abhishek, how do you convert your CGPA to percentage? Well, Abhishek, you multiply your CGPA with 9.8 to convert it into percentage. Remember, 9.8 is what you multiply your CGPA with. Okay. Well, organization preference. Now, if you notice on the left hand side of the screen, Lakshmi is asking us what is the last date to apply. Well, the last date the last date to apply for the exam is the 5th of September. 5th of September is the last date when you guys can apply for IBPS PO 2017. Applications open yesterday, and you can go on to fill in your application forms and pay the exam fees online till the 5th of September. All right, let's go back to what we were doing here. So if you notice on the left hand side, there's a box that has the list of all the banks that are recruiting via IBPS. Now you have to choose the banks. Now choosing here does not mean that from the 2021 banks that are recruiting through IBPS, you say no, I want to work only for 5, so I will choose only 5 of these banks. No, you have to choose all, you have to choose all these options, all the banks, just that you have to choose them in the order of preference in which you were to work with them. So let's say tomorrow, out of these 2021 banks, 6 of these banks were to give you a job offer. By the way, one of our students did get 6 job offers last year. So if any one of you were to get job offers from 6 banks, then you would choose them on which on what priority, in which order would you choose them. So let's say one of the most the bank that I'm most keen on working for me would be IDBI. So IDBI is number 1 for me, followed by Bank of Baroda, then Bank of India, then Canara Bank, let's say, then Central Bank of India, let's say, then IOB, then Punjab National Bank, then Punjab and Sindh Bank, then Union Bank of India, then Oriental Bank of Commerce. Now if you notice, the order in which I am clicking on these boxes is the same order in which the names of banks are appearing here, and this is the order of my preference. Next, I'd like to work with Allahabad Bank, then Bank of Maharashtra, then Dena Bank, then let's say Andhra Bank, then let's say Vijaya Bank, then Syndicate, then UCO, then Bank of India. Then let us say Andhra Bank, then Corporation Bank, then Indian Bank. Well, so now if you notice that I have tick marked all my boxes, and I have selected all the banks in the order of preference that I would like to work for them. So now that is done, I save and I move to the next. Well, now once I have saved and I have moved to the next, you notice that this is my complete application form. This is my complete application form. Please stop here and look out for details. Read this, check this, read, reread, check, recheck, verify. Check and then verify, and then go ahead and then see. I can see some people have questions here. So let me see. Shubham, don't lose heart. There is no reason why you would always fail an exam. You just need to work hard, be focused, and don't lose heart. It is very important, very important that you take, you don't lose heart. You work hard with motivation, with determination, and remember, working hard is important, but along with working hard, it is also important that you work the smart way. It is also important that you work the smart way. Hard work plus smart work is what always makes you successful. Praveen has asked us another question. So Praveen says, if there is no vacancy in banks, then what will be the criteria? Well, Praveen, if there is no vacancy in any bank, then there will be no criteria. Criteria are only there when there are vacancies. So no vacancies means that there will be no criteria to shortlist. Okay, let's go back. All right. Now, if you notice that this is the complete form that I have filled, and you know, I can quickly check, recheck. So let me check. Registration number is here. Remember, boys and girls, when you get this, you know, when you get this, remember, take down your registration number, save it somewhere, put it in a place where you would not lose it. Then your full name, your category. Now I'm checking. My full name is Surbhi Sehgal. I belong to the general category. I am not a person with disability. No, nobody, you know, I'm not a child of someone who died during the 84 riots. I am not a person who stayed in Jammu Kashmir. I am not an ex-service army man. I am a Hindu. I do not belong to the minority community. I do not have a government job or a quasi or a PSU government job. Then I have appeared once before. I appeared last year in PO6. Then I have an Aadhaar card, my Aadhaar card number. I am an Indian. You know, I want to take the exam in Telangana, state code. Hyderabad is where I want to write the pre's. And then I also want to write the pre's in mains also in Hyderabad. Well, there comes the breakup of the fees. The fee, what is the tax is GST, and then my date of birth, my age, my marital status, name of my parents, what is my address of correspondence, what is my permanent address, and well, yeah, that's it. My mobile number, education qualification, and all those things that, you know, are there, and I check, and well, I finally submit. So I have to agree. I have to agree. See, since I did not agree, I have to agree that all the knowledge that I have given here is true. You know, best of my information, all the information given here, to the best of my knowledge. You have no change. Now remember, once I make this submission, like I told you, boys and girls, please notice, this is the final submission, and once you submit this form, you cannot make any changes. No changes or whatsoever can be done or will be entertained. Okay, so there goes final submission. Okay, final submission. Now if you notice, once again there's a code. My code here is R33WT, and I can here submit. Okay, now I can see some of you have some questions. Let me take these questions before I move ahead further. Okay, what is the procedure for IBPS RRB waitlist clearing? Well, Aman, if you were to ask me to clear the waitlisting, there is no procedure, but just to wait, and you know, if some people don't join, you know, the waitlist is going to move ahead and they will get in touch with you. Can final year 5th semester students apply? Well, Ramya, like I said, no. You can only apply if you have finished your graduation by the 5th of September. If you have finished your graduation by the 5th of September, only then you are eligible for applying for IBPS PO. So Balagopi asks us, ma'am, please suggest me the criteria in which I want to prioritize the banks. Well, you know, Balagopi, there could be various categories, you know, various, you know, criteria based on which you would like to, like decide which bank you want to work for. It could be based on the number of vacancies that a certain bank has. It could be, it could be based on, the number of, where a certain bank is located. If you are very keen on working with the, work style of a certain bank, or you think that, this bank offers you better growth opportunities. So things like that should, help you prioritize which bank that you want to work for. Well, Candy Floss, don't worry. I am smart enough to know what information has to go out and what does not have to go out. Trust me on that. All right, so let's move ahead and let's, see the last bit. Now, if you guys notice, the last bit is about paying. Now, there are, you can choose to pay whatever way you want to pay. You can pay via credit card, debit card plus ATM pin, internet banking. Now, like I was saying that, we all do, I'm sure most of you are into online shopping, so you know that you have to put the card number here, the details, when does the card expire, that is mentioned on the card. The CVV or the CVC number is a 3-digit code mentioned behind the card, and then your name, and then you click on make the payment. Well, so that was it, and once you make the payment, your process will be over. You would have applied to the IBPS PO, successfully. Do not delete the mails that you get, once you have applied for IBPS PO. You will be getting some self-generated emails, so keep them safely. Remember your login ID and password. Okay, so Sagar has asked us what date of passing if I have passed by clearing backlogs. Sagar, like I said, 5th September is the last date. By 5th of September, your backlog should be clear, the result should be out, and in that result, you should have been declared to be a graduate, someone who has completed his or her graduation. Okay, well, Candy Floss, like I said, don't worry about me revealing my biodata. Well, guys, so this was one, ma'am, be careful, please. Well, thank you, Shilpi. I shall know what to be careful about. Thank you for being, telling me to be cautious. So, well, guys, this is it. This was a small session from us telling you what you guys should do to ensure that, you make no mistakes while filling the IBPS PO form. And I would request you guys, that every time, when you're filling your form, fill it carefully, check it, recheck it, validate it, verify it, and cross-verify it. And at the end, when the entire form comes, when you're when you're submitting it for final submission, ensure that you go through every bit of the detail properly. Sometimes we are in a hurry, or we don't realize, and we tend to make some small mistakes. Refrain from making mistakes, stay away from making such mistakes, because after all, this is your application for IBPS PO 2017. So guys, like I said, the applications opened yesterday, the online applications. You can go ahead and apply till the 5th of September, so do not wait till the last date, but go ahead and apply. So for now, it's a sign off from me, Surabhi at TalentSprint. I will see you guys again soon. So guys, go ahead, apply, and good luck for IBPS PO. Bye.